Okay, so Kal Kadosh, we are going to be doing Masechet Succah, Mem Gimel Amud Aleph 43a1. We were talking about the decree of why exactly are we not allowed to use whether it's the shofar, the Megillah, or the Lulav and Etrog on Shabbat. And we said the Gezerah Rabbah says, the famous Rabbah, Gezerah Shem Yitzlenu Yadov Yelech Etzel Bakil Limod. But there's a Gezerah, there's a decree that maybe what's going to happen is that he's going to take it with his hands and he's going to travel outside Daled Amot. He's going to take it to somebody that's an expert in order to learn from him. And it's going to be problematic. He's going to be Ma'avir. He's going to transport it 4 amot, 4 cubic meters in the Reshut Rabbi. And that's the reasoning of Lulav, and that's the reasoning of Megillah. So it says the Gemara, so if you're going to tell me that the reason why you're not supposed to take Lulav on Shabbat in the middle of the Chol HaMoed and all these things is why? Because of transporting Daled Amot. Yom Rishon Nami, also the first day you have the same halacha. So answers the Gemara, Rishon hatakiru leRabbanan beveto. He said, no. On the first day, they already instituted, you do it in your house. If you remember at the beginning, they used to do it inside the Bet HaMikdash. Once it became a sakana, they told you to do it at home. So the fact that they told you to do it at home, we're not going to have such a decree. Why? Because since they didn't permit it like the other days, you're going to remember, and you're going to say, what's that? Why am I doing it at home? Usually I don't do it at home. I do it to the Bet HaMikdash. Why do I do it at home today? Because it's Shabbat. They made a special decree. So I'm not going to transport it outside. So that's already enough to remember not to transport it, but not the other days. So says the Gemara, you understood. Says the Gemara, but that's only going to be Hatena Acharat Takana, after the decree. Because remember, there was before the decree and after the decree. Before the decree, where they used to do the Lulav and Etrog on Shabbat in the Bet HaMikdash, right? That was before the decree. But after the decree, it's something completely different, right? It's 2 different halachot. So says the Gemara. So says the Gemara, this is only going to be good after the takana. But before the takana, before the institution, when they used to actually do it in the Bet HaMikdash, what are you going to do? Why didn't we suspect that maybe you're going to take the Lulav and Etrog and start carrying it outside of the Bet HaMikdash? So answers the Gemara, the Netilat Lulav is more important because it's the Mina Torah even outside of the Bet HaMikdash. Meaning we know that even outside of the Bet HaMikdash, you have a mitzvah of doing the Lulav and Etrog. So because of Chashivuto, because it's so important, we didn't make such a decree. Okay, Lo Gazru B'Rabbanan. Hanach, but in the other cases, which is the 6 days, where there's no mitzvah mina Torah, the Letineu mina Torah bigulin, it's only in the Bet HaMikdash, meaning the mitzvah Lulav and Etrog is only in the Bet HaMikdash for 7 days. In Bigvulin, outside of the Bet HaMikdash, it's only the first day. So therefore, on the first day that it's by everything, so it's mina Torah, there we didn't make a decree. On the rest of the days that it's not a mina Torah, Gazru B'Rabbanan. So ask the Gemara, so to nowadays also, after the Churban Bet HaMikdash, we should push off, right, on Yom Tov Rishon, we should push off the Shabbat because of Lulav and Etrog. Yeah, it's also the right to the first day. Yeah, what does that mean? That means nowadays, right, the first day is Doraita. So this year, for example, Sukkot came out on Shabbat. We didn't do the Doraita. We only did the Rabbanan because we only did the other days of school. We should have done the first day. So answers the Gemara, he says, we don't know how to be kovea the yareach. We don't know the month, how to fix what it is, the months, the days, the this, that. So since we're not sure how to do that, that's why we're saying over here, since we don't know how to do that, right? So therefore, what we're trying to say over here is that we made the decree. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. We don't know, but they did know. Meaning they knew. They were bekin, they were experts, they knew what it is. Kuyuta diyarcha. So they knew exactly when is the month, when is the finishing the month, starting the month. So they should have done it. They should push it off. Says Gemara, you're right. 100%. You're right. Okay? Now the Gemara is going to help through a stira between 2 different Mishnayot. The Tanan Chada, but we learned in one Mishnah. This is in the Mishnah that we learned above. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag Shel Chal Yom Shabbat. When Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag falls on Shabbat, everybody takes the lulavim to Harabait. And we learned another Mishnah in Aleph Amud Bet, right? That we said the Bet HaKnesset. They take it to the Bet HaKnesset. So the stira is, where do you take it? To the Bet HaMikdash or the Bet HaKnesset? What? Yeah, we're talking on Shabbat. On Shabbat. But we're talking about an Erev Shabbat. Erev Shabbat, you're taking it, but where are you taking it? Are you taking it to the Bet HaMikdash or are you taking it to the Bet HaKnesset? So that's the question. So Shema Mina comes mentioned Bet Hamikdash Kayam because so it all depends. When there's a Bet Hamikdash, you take it to the Bet Hamikdash. When there's no Bet Hamikdash, you take it to the Bet Knesset. Shema Mina. Okay. Next. How do we know that there is also a concept of Mina Torah and Gvulin? How do we know? How do we know? So he says, the time that we learned in the Braita, Ulkachtem. What does it mean, Ulkachtem? Lekicha biyad kol echad ve'echad. Every single person has to take the love in the Torah. Lachem has to be yours. Meaning, not only does each person have to do it, meaning I can't do the mitzvah for you. Right? Every single Jew has to do the mitzvah. Number two, Lachem, Lachem has to be yours. Lotzit hashov v'et hagazul, that it cannot be borrowed or stolen. Bayom Arishon, Bayom, Vafilu b'Shabbat. When it says Bayom, even on Shabbat. On the day. Which day? The known day. The known day that is even on Shabbat. You have to do the love and the Torah. Rishon, Vafilu b'Gvulim. Har Rishon, the fact that it says Hei HaYediah, the first day, Melamed she'eno dochel yom tov Rishon b'Vad. It's only going to push out the first day. So you see from here, from the fact that it's written in Rishon, the Rishon teaches you that even the Raita, even in the Gvulim, even outside of the Bet HaMikdash, it's also going to be the Raita on the first day. So Amar more said Bayom. What did we just say? Bayom meant Vafilu b'Shabbat. Right? One more time. Ulkachtem, every single person takes it. Lachem, it has to be yours. It cannot be borrowed or stolen. Bayom, even on Shabbat. Bayom means on the day. That day, even on the Shabbat day. Harishon. When it says first of all Rishon, it just means that the Yom Rishon is Doraita even outside of Bet HaMikdash. Harishon, the fact that it added an extra hey, it comes to tell you that it's only in the how do you call it? It's only the Gvulim, but it's not going to be Doche, only the Yom Tov Rishon and not any other days of Yom Tov. So each part of the Pasuk, we learned something from it. So now we're going to go back to the analyzing. So it's exactly. Yom HaShishi, what is Hashishi? The day, the sixth day, which is the 6th of Sivan. It's not just Stam Friday. The 6th of Sivan, Hashishi, the extra hay. That means every single time, usually when it has a hay, it's coming to teach you something. The known one. Here you yeah? So he says, so Amar More comes and he says, Bayom, what is Bayom? You know, Hilu Shabbat, Michti, Tiltu Damal. One second, you just stop. It's mitadel. You just stop carrying. So says the Gemara, Itzikra lemisha tiltul. We need the pasuk to teach you tiltul, to permit you tiltul. Okay? Do you really need the pasuk to teach you tiltul? No, stop. It's tiltul on Shabbat. We already know that it's going to be permitted. Because you have to remember that at the end of the day, this is talking about the tiltul is only the Rabbanan. We know that there was no Rabbanan in the Bet HaMikdash. In the Bet HaMikdash, we were lenient. We only machmir on the writers on Shabbat, not on the Rabbanans. So Amar Rava says, no. Lo nitzechah lemachshirei lulav. We're talking about machshirei lulav, which means in order to prepare the lulav. So libat the haitana, just like this Tana. The Tana was learned to the Braita lulav v'chol machshirei dochin et Shabbat according to Rabbi Eliezer, which means according to Shitat Rabbi Eliezer, there is a very famous Shitat Rabbi Eliezer also in Yichot Shabbat. Not only the lulav is doche Shabbat, the machshirim of lulav is also doche Shabbat. Meaning any type of process that you have to do in order to prepare the lulav, whether it's cutting down the lulav, cutting down the hadasim, cutting down the aravah, whatever it is. Anything of the preparation of the lulav is also doche the Shabbat. Lulav v'chol machshirav dochin et Shabbat. My Tamar Rabbi Eliezer. What's the reason of Rabbi Eliezer? Tamar Kabbalah. It says bayom. Yeah, because he says bayom. It says the word bayom. When it says bayom, vafilu b'Shabbat. So according to Shitat Rabbi Eliezer, even the machshirim, it's going to come and it's going to permit. Okay, v'Rabbanan. Hi bayom. What do the rabbis do with bayom? So he says mi baile. He needs it mi bayom v'lo balayla. He needs it during the day and not during the nighttime. You need it during the day and not during the nighttime. But Rabbi Eliezer, and according to Rabbi Eliezer, Bayom v'lo balayla minale. How do we know that it's Bayom v'lo balayla? So he says, Nafkalem is Seifa Dikra. You need it from the end of the pasuk. What do you need at the end of the pasuk? It says at the end of the pasuk, Usmachtem nifnei Hashem lokachem shivat yamim. You have to be happy in front of Hashem your God for 7 days. Yeah? So it says, Yamim v'lo lelot. This teaches you that the mitzvah lulav is only during the day, not during the night time. When it says there, Shivat Yamim, Yamim velo lelot, days and night times. How you're only obligated to love during the day. Nighttime there's no love. Okay? V'Rabbanan says the rabbis. If you're going to tell me from Yamim velo lelot, I would have thought to say lelav Yamim Yamim Sukkah. Make a gzera shara. Yamim Yamim from Sukkah, just like over there, right? Malahala Yamim, and even nighttime. Meaning, when do you have to sit in the Sukkah? In the day or the nighttime? Sukkah. Both. Also day, also nighttime. Sukkah is all the time. Day and nighttime, the opposite. Sleeping in the Sukkah is more chamur than even eating in the Sukkah. Yeah, in certain things it's even more chamur than even eating. Okay? So therefore, what we have to understand is that what are we going to be doing then? So he says over here, I would have thought to say that I would make Gzira Shava Yamim Yamim. Afkanami, so too I will make Yamim Vafilu Lelot. That's why it comes teach, that here we don't do Yamim Velelot, Yamim Dafka Velo Lelot. So by the Lulav and the Etrog, it's not like the Sukkah. The Sukkah, it's day and night. The Lulav, it's only daytime and not during the night time. So says the Gemara, how do we know that? The Sukkah Gufa Minala. How do we know that the Sukkah itself is like that? Right? How do we know this? The Tanu Rabbanam is going to the Braita. But Sukkot Teshevu Shivat Yamim. Yamim Vafilu Lelot. It says you have to sit down in the Sukkah for 7 days. 7 days and even nighttime. You say it's days and even night times, or maybe it's only days and not night times. So says the Gemara, it's a kal vachomer. It says Yamim by both, also by Sukkah and also by Yamim, also by the Lulav. Just like over there, it's Yamim velo lelot, it's days and not night times. So to here, it's days and not night times. Go the other way around. It's written Yamim velo right b'miluim Yamim. It says Yamim by Sukkah and it says by the Miluim Yamim. Miluim was for the first few days, right, of the 7 days at the beginning of the inauguration of the Mishkan. Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that was in charge of the how do you call it, the process of the Bet HaMikdash, right, the Mishkan. So he says just like over there, Mala Halan Yamim vafilu lelot. So to here by the Sukkot, it's Yamim vafilu lelot. So basically like this, even by Sukkah, we are asking, where do we go? Do we take the Sukkah to Miluim and therefore Yamim Yamim, just like by Miluim it's day and night time, so too Sukkah is day and night time? Or do we take the Sukkah to Lulav and Etrog, just like the Lulav and Etrog is only day not night time, so to the Sukkah is only day and not night times? So says the Gemara, right? Let's see who's it more compared to. Danim davar shemitzvato kol hayom, midavar shemitzvato kol hayom. We're going to compare it to something which the mitzvah is the entire day. So something the mitzvah is the entire day, which is basically Sukkah and the Miluim. But Lulav, you're just talking about 1 moment. The Sukkah, the obligation is every single moment. You have to eat in the Sukkah, you have to sleep in the Sukkah, you have to learn, you have to do everything in the Sukkah. It's every single moment. The Miluim was every moment. Look how many korbanot you have to bring, look at it. So that's all the time. Lulav, you picked up the Lulav, you're Yitzhak Chovah. You were Yitzhak Chovah. So it's not the same. Oklach, so there is all. Go the other way around. One second. Miluim was a one-off or was it for generations? Miluim, one-off or generations? Miluim was one-off. Why? The Miluim was only the beginning of the Mishkan. He took the 7 days, and then by Yom HaShemini took over Aaron and his children. And then that's it. It was only the Kohanim. It wasn't Moshe Rabbeinu anymore. So the Miluim was a one-off. The Sukkah and the Lulav are for generations. So it's much better to compare to the Sukkah to the Lulav than to compare the Sukkah to the Miluim. We wanted to compare the Sukkah to the Miluim because the Sukkah Miluim is all the time. And the Lulav is for 1 moment. Here we say, no, it's much better to compare the Sukkah to the Lulav because the Sukkah and Lulav is for generations and the Miluim is only for 1 off. Yeah? So says the Gemara, Talmud comes to teach you, Mem Gimel Amud Bet, 43b. Mem Gimel Amud Bet, Teshevu L'Gzera Shava. We make a Gzera Shava of the Teshevu between. That means not because of Yamim. Because if you would have used the terminology Yamim, I also have Yamim by Lulav and Etrog. I have Lulav, Yamim by the Miluim. I have the Yamim by the Sukkah. Who do I compare it to? Now I make a Gzera Shava to Teshevu. What's written by Teshevu? It says Teshevu L'Gzera Shava. Ne'emar kan Teshevu v'ne'emar b'miluim Teshevu. It says by Sukkah Teshevu and it says also by Miluim Teshevu. Just like over there by the Miluim, it's the days and night times. So by the Sukkah, it's the days and night times. Yeah? And now it makes sense. So therefore, you're right. I cannot bring a proof from the words Yamim. Because if I would have brought the proof from the words Yamim, I don't know where to go. I don't know if I'm going to compare the Sukkah to Lulav or Sukkah to Miluim. I don't know. So what do I compare to? Because the word Teshevu. It says Teshevu by the Miluim, and it says Teshevu by Sukkah. Just like by Miluim, it's Yamim Velelot, so to by Sukkah, Yamim Velelot. Capish? Yeah. So says the Gemara now, we're about the 2 dots where it says, where it says Arava is for Shivat Yamim for 7 days. So says the Gemara, how do we know that it's going to be for 7 days? Arava b'shvi'i, my tamadach Shabbat. Why is it that the Arava, which we use for those shanot and all these things, why is it that it pushes off Shabbat? Hoshana Rabbah, it would have pushed off Shabbat. Why? Why is it going to push off the Shabbat? So he says, Rabbi Yochanan says, to teach us that the mitzvah Arava is midoraita. Meaning to teach us it's Doraita, we would have done it on Shabbat. To teach you that it's Doraita. So says the Gemara, if it's only going to teach you that it's Doraita, Yachi Lulav Nami Lidche. Also push off. The Lulav should also push it off. Right? Why do we say only Lulav Bayom Rishon? Right? Lulav should also push it off. Because the first one Torah. Says the Gemara, no. Lulav Gezerah Mishum de Rabba. Lulav is Gezerah because of Rabba. Maybe you're going to go to learn and you're going to take it for Daled Amot. So says the Gemara, Arava also you're going to make a Gezerah. Yachi Arava Nami Nigzor. Make the same Gezerah by the Arava. So you're going to take the Arava to go learn how to do it. So says the Gemara, Arava Shluchei Betim Maitila. Who does the Arava? The Arava is not every single Joe Shmo. It's not every Amaretz. Who used to do it? The Shluchei Betim. So ever since it was Shluchei Betim, they were the ones that were makifim with the Mizbeach. They were the ones going around the Mizbeach. So they knew what they were doing. They're not going to make any mistakes. Okay? So says the Gemara, Elulav, Lakol Musar, Masur. It's given to everybody. Meaning, Lulav and Etrog, everybody does. So because of that, we have to make a special decree. Of what? Rabba. Maybe they're going to go out. They're going to start asking somebody, how do you take the Lulav and Etrog? How do you tie it together? How do you do this? How do you do that? They don't know. The Arava was only Shulchan Betin. It's only Shulchan Betin. They know what they're doing. So says the Gemara, Yehachiv so. Kol Yomanam down and Lidche. It should push off any day. Why do we say that the Hoshana, the Arava, only pushes off the seventh day? Push off every single day. Even if Shabbat comes out on the first, second, third, fourth, doesn't matter which day. Doesn't matter what, the Hoshana should push it off. So says the Gemara, Ati le'apakpuke belulav. No, then people are going to start being mizazel in the lulav. Because they're going to say, wow, look at the Arava. The Arava, which they go around there, that pushes off Shabbat. Doesn't matter which day. But Lulav and Etrog, no, it's only the first day. So in order not to be mizalzel, in order not to be mizalzel in the Lulav and Etrog, so because of that, what's it called? We didn't do it on that. So asking Gemara, Velidche b'Yom Tov Rishon. Why don't we push off Yom Tov Rishon then? Right? Why? Just like Lulav, which means Shabbat should push off the Mitzvah Arava Yom Tov Rishon, just like Lulav. Why do we only say that it's only going to be on the seventh day? So says the Gemara, Lo Muchaminta. If it was only already on the first day that they were going to push off the Shabbat, and we were going to push it off because of the Arava, it wouldn't have been recognizable. We would have said, why are you pushing it off? Because of the Lulav, not because of the Arava. So it's not recognizable. So since it's not recognizable, that's why it's not the same halacha. So says the Gemara, fine. So push another day. You're right. Don't push off the first day because then we would have thought it was because of Lulav. But push off any other day. So says the Gemara, no. The second and the first day we don't have it, we put it on the seventh day. So only on the seventh day, it's a special rule. Only on the seventh day, it's going to push off the Shabbat. Other than that, no. So says the Gemara, so if you're going to tell me, if you're going to tell me, do me a favor. Okay. If you're going to tell me, so too now you should also push it off. So says the Gemara, we don't know what it is, the kaviyut of the months. Meaning we are not experts how to make which days of the month, not the month. So since we're not experts, we don't do these things anymore. So says the Gemara, but they did know. They should push it off. So says the Gemara, ki ata bar-hedya amar lo ikla. When Bar-Hedya came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, he said it will never come out that the seventh day of Sukkot will become on Shabbat Bizman Hazeh, right? Because basically they will never do that, right? So just to make a very long story very short, right? In order that it shouldn't come out, it would have to come out if now the seventh day would come out on the Shabbat, so then Kippur would have to come out on a Friday or a Sunday. You understood? Which means Kippur cannot be on a Friday or a Sunday. Kippur could either be Thursday or it could be Monday or Shabbat. It cannot be Friday and Sunday. And the reason why is because we can't have 2 days, which is prohibited, any types of cooking, any types of food. Imagine right now, nowadays, Baruch Hashem, we have platas of Shabbat, we have timers, we have fridges, we have everything. In the olden days, right, they didn't have platas, they didn't have fridges. Imagine I'm going to tell you now, 2 days in a row, you can't cook. You can't do nothing. It's Friday, Kippur, and Shabbat. Or Shabbat is Shabbat, and Sunday is Kippur. People will go crazy. They can't cook, they can't do anything. What are they going to do? It's going to be very dangerous. So because of that, Kippur could be on Shabbat, but it cannot be on Friday or it cannot be on Sunday. Now, if you have Hoshana Rabbah on Shabbat, Kippur would have to be either on Friday or Sunday. Capish? Understood? So in order that it's not going to be on the Friday or the Sunday, so therefore, that's what we know already from now. The Hoshana Rabbah will never come out on Shabbat. So Hoshana Rabbah will never be on Shabbat. It could be on Sunday, but it cannot be on Shabbat. Yes, that's Hoshana Rabbah. Okay? So says the Gemara, when Ravin came and all the other people that were coming down from Eretz to Bavel, they said, sometimes it does come out, right, on Shabbat, even Bizman Hazeh, right, but, right, it's not Doche the Shabbat. So says the Gemara, but one second, but why not Bemet? Right, it should be Doche. So Rav Yosef, man leimalan, the Arava v'netila. Whoever told you that the Arava was with the Tila, that you have to take it in your hands. Dilma biskifa. Maybe it's just that it has to be on the side of the Mizbeach, right? And then nowadays we don't have the Mizbeach, which means they used to put them lining up by the Mizbeach. Nowadays we don't have it lining up by the Mizbeach. Yeah, so since we don't have it lining up by the Mizbeach, right? They don't have it. We're going to see now pictures in a few seconds. Okay? So it says, Eitvei Abaye. So Abaye comes and asks the following question. Lulav Arava Shisha V'Shiva. You just told me that Lulav and Arava, sometimes it's 6 days, sometimes it's 7 days. My love, are we not talking about the Lulav, just like Lulav? Just like the Lulav is Menetila, so too the Arava is going to be Menetila. So says the Gemara, Midi Iria, can you compare both cases? Hakedite v'hakedite. Each one is like this halakha. Right, which means, right, each one is mitkayem accordingly, which means the Mishnah is saying that whether they were talking about the lulav and the arava, right, it's only going to be to do with the halakha that we mentioned before. So says the Gemara, Eitvei Abaye comes and he asks the following question: Bechol yom, every single day, makifin et hamizbeach pamachat. Right, they're going to come and they're going to be makif the mizbeach once. Right, ve'oto yom, and that day they're going to do it for 7 days. So now the Gemara says one more time, every single day, Abaye comes and asks the following question, every single day, they used to go around the Mizbeach once. The 7th day, they used to do the 7 akafot, Sheva Pamim. My lover, we're not talking about Barava, and that's what we do nowadays. So Hoshana Rabbah, what do? We go around all the time, right? 7 times. Every single day, we do 1 akafa. On the day of Hoshana Rabbah, we do 7 akafot. So says the Gemara, no, we don't do it with the Arava. We do it with the Lulav. So says the Gemara, says Rabba Baravua, Ba'arava. We're talking about the Arava. So Amale, who Amalecha Barava, he's saying the Arava, Va'ana Mina Balulav. And I'm saying it's going to be with the Lulav, not with the Arava. Okay? Itamar was stated. Rabbi Lazar says Balulav, it was done with the Lulav. But Shmuel Ben Natan says, in the name of Chanina, it's Ba'arava. V'chen Amar Nachman Baravua, Ba'arava, with the Arava. Okay? Fine. Says the Gemara, Amar le Rav Yitzchak bered Rav Barachana, says Rava to Rav Yitzchak, the son of Rav Barachana, Bar Uriah ben Torah. He says, I'm going to tell you something, right? That basically that's something nice that your father said. That which we said, right? That every single day they would come and they would be makif mizbeach. That day they would do it for 7 times. This is what your father said in the name of Rabbi Lazar. Balulav. We're talking about they were going around in the lulav. So 8 ways. So now we're going to ask the following question. So now it's not only just the arava, now it's the lulav, right? That means that's what we do. We go around with the lulav. So 8th way, we're going to ask the question. Lulav dochet Shabbat b'tchilato, v'arava b'sofo. Lulav pushes off the Shabbat at the beginning, and the arava pushes off the Shabbat at the end, meaning on the 7th day. Once happened on the 7th day, fell out on Shabbat. They put all these big branches of arava in the azara. The Baitusin, they recognize them, right? And then what do? They went and they hid them underneath the stones in order that the rabbis cannot do it. Why? Because once they put stones on top, it's muktzeh. You understand what the Baitusin did? The Baitusin, remember, these are groups that were against the religious Jews. The Baitusin, right? So what did they do? They went and they realized that we had all these arava. They didn't want the arava. So what did? They took the aravot and they put them under these stones. Now for us, it's muktzeh. How do you take off the stone? So they weren't able to do anything. So he says the Machari, the Amei Haaretz came and they took them out. No, chas v'shalom. That's only for a klish melachto l'isur, not for muktzeh mechama gufo. Yeah, not from Muktzah Mechama Gufo. This is Muktzah Mechama Gufo. Muktzah Mechama Gufo is a stone. A stone is not an object. An object, you're right. A pen, a utensil. But not this. This is not an object. So stone, nothing. You don't love it. Yeah? So he says, so the Ma'aretz came. They took them out. The Vyuma Kohanim was good. So the Kohanim came and they put them. If he shema to Bodhish, there's according to the Baitusim, they don't agree that it pushes off the Shabbat. So therefore, since they don't agree that it pushes off the Shabbat, that's why it happened. Right? That's why this happened. They wanted to get rid of it. Right? Well, Almas, you see from here, you have to actually take it. It's not just a skafu. Right? They have to actually take it. Yeah? So he says, so you're right. It's a good question. It's a very, very good question you just asked now, because Be'emet, this is mashma that it's only just stam that you're putting the aravot by the mizbeach. You have to actually take it. Right? That's what you have to do. You have to take the aravot. Okay? So says the Gemara, Ve'ela nidchu. So why don't we say Be'emet is going to be pushed off? So says the Gemara, if we don't push it off, which means the Bnei Agulah, if we don't push it off because of the Shabbat, because of Mitzvah Aravah, inunami lo dach. So therefore, so too, they are also not going to push it off. So because of that, they wanted to make Eretz Yisrael to Chutzaret the same. They wanted to make the diaspora and Eretz Yisrael the exact same, in order that there shouldn't be Chas Shalom two different Torahs. So ask the Gemara, Yom Tov Rishon. What about Yom Tov Rishon? The first day of Yom Tov. Did they lo dachi or did they do dachi? Right? By the Yom Tov Rishon, the Mitzvah Lulav is not going to push off the Shabbat, and by Eretz Yisrael, it is going to push off the Shabbat. Right? So says the Gemara, no, you're right. Also in Eretz Yisrael, it doesn't push off anymore. And by not pushing it off anymore, then it's true. It's not going to push it off. And then there's no problem because of what we mentioned, that it's not going to look like two different Torahs. Okay, with that, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll continue tomorrow.